A nation divided, the peculiar institution. The early 1800s in America were a time of great contradiction. The young nation, founded on the ideals of liberty and equality, held millions in the chains of slavery. This brutal system, known as the peculiar institution, cast a long shadow over the land. The Southern economy relied heavily on enslaved labor for its vast cotton plantations. Millions of Africans were forcibly brought to America, stripped of their freedom and dignity. They endured unimaginable hardships, toiling under the threat of the lash. Families were torn apart, their cries for justice silenced by the chains of oppression. However, even in the darkest of times, the flame of hope flickered. The abolitionist movement, with its unwavering belief in the equality of all people, began to rise. Across the nation, courageous individuals and groups began to speak out against the horrors of slavery. They recognized the inherent injustice of one human being owning another. They understood that the principles of freedom and equality, enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, must apply to all, regardless of race. Voices of conscience, the moral awakening, the fight against slavery found fertile ground in the moral convictions of many Americans. Religious revivals swept across the nation, emphasizing the equality of all souls before God. Preachers and congregations alike began to question the morality of slavery, drawing parallels between the suffering of the Israelites in Egypt and the plight of enslaved Africans in America. They preached that slavery was a sin, a moral abomination that could not be tolerated in a nation claiming to be under God's grace. The abolitionist movement gained momentum in public spaces as well. Abolitionist societies formed in cities and towns across the North, organized meetings, lectures, and demonstrations to denounce slavery. They published pamphlets and newspapers, spreading awareness about the brutality of the institution and advocating for its immediate abolition. These gatherings became forums for passionate debate, challenging the conscience of the nation and demanding an end to the barbarity of human bondage.
In 1831, I ignited the abolitionist cause with the publication of my newspaper, The Liberator. I demanded immediate emancipation without compensation to slaveholders, shaking the nation with my fiery editorials.
Garrison's uncompromising stance against slavery resonated with a growing number of Americans. The Liberator became a beacon of hope for enslaved people and a rallying cry for abolitionists. Abolitionist literature played a crucial role in galvanizing public opinion. Autobiographies of escaped slaves, such as Frederick Douglass's narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave, provided harrowing first-hand accounts of the horrors of slavery. These personal narratives exposed the brutality of the system, challenging the pro-slavery propaganda that sought to portray enslaved people as content with their lot. Through their powerful testimonies, Douglass and other formerly enslaved writers gave a voice to the voiceless, humanizing the plight of their people and inspiring others to join the fight for freedom. Leading the way to freedom, Black abolitionists. Black abolitionists were at the forefront of the fight against slavery.
I escaped slavery and became a leading advocate for abolition. My eloquence and first-hand accounts of slavery moved audiences and challenged the very foundations of the institution.
Figures like Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, and Harriet Tubman, who had themselves endured the horrors of slavery, became powerful voices for freedom.
I too, once enslaved, spoke out for both abolition and women's rights, sharing my story and my truth.
And I, Harriet Tubman, led countless enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad, risking my life for the liberty of others.
Their courage and determination inspired many to join the struggle for freedom and justice, leading the way to a brighter future for all.